So, hello guys, welcome to the Milk Fridge podcast. This is episode 5.
Is it?
This is episode 5.
Okay.
And we have a lot to talk about. We actually recorded this with a different co-host, but that co-host can't sit still and squirms around on the couch.
Who? Darius?
Darius. Dude, the mic was literally on that far end of that couch, and he was like right there. And he was like, no, it's fine, I'm in frame. Like, dude, the mic is not going to pick you up. And guess what? The mic didn't pick him up. But we have a very refined and trusted individual here, the TheCoolerOne, and he's back.
I am back. I was here for the first 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And number 4, we did Meet the John.
Yeah. Meet the John.
And we talked about Smash Brothers. And we're going to go back onto a lot of stuff happened. We're gonna have to re-talk a lot about showcases that happened. I already talked about it because we did episode 5 already, but we're rerunning it.
Yeah, so we gotta talk about the PlayStation State of Play, Summer Game Fest, and Xbox Showcase.
Yes.
That's what we have to talk about. Am I in frame, Nick? Okay. Because the camera just seems like really far off this way.
You're in frame.
Okay.
All right, he's in frame.
Okay.
This guy's in frame.
I am in frame.
I'm always in frame. Framed like a picture. Picture perfect. Like a cell.
I knew it was coming. So yeah, we gotta talk about PlayStation State of Play, Summer Game Fest, Xbox Showcase. We have to talk about the new Pokemon TCG set.
There is so much to talk about
There
TCG.
is a lot.
I'm really excited to talk about the TCG. I'm actually kind of glad this podcast got delayed because we can combine so much together.
Yeah.
And the TCG is almost in a golden age for modern TCG.
I would say so. I would say it's almost in a modern age. We're also getting a ton of meta changes.
There's so many viable decks.
The meta is seriously about to shift, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about that a little later after we talk about PlayStation State of Play, Summer Game Fest, and Xbox Showcase.
We're also going to talk about the Switch 2. It's been out for a good while now. I don't have it. And
I wish I had it because I really want to play Donkey Kong Bonanza.
that's the only game I want to play is Donkey Kong Bonanza.
It looks so good.
And the Pokemon games.
Oh, yeah, and Legends ZA, but you can play that on the normal Switch. It might not run the best,
but I've seen gameplay. It looks so good on the Switch 2. Like,
yeah, the Switch 2, people rant.
have literally said it's a completely different game.
Yeah.
Because of the graphics that are actually good and makes the game playable.
I was going to start talking about how people don't like the Switch 2 for some reason, but we'll get to that later.
I think it... You know, on episode 2, I was listening to it yesterday. We talked about how the Switch 2 might just fail because of the price, but...
I'll say this real quick. It was the fastest selling console of all time.
Yeah, that thing sold out really fast. I was lucky enough just to walk into a Best Buy and see one.
I'm going to be honest. If I would have seen one, I would have picked it up immediately if I had the money. I would have bought it.
There isn't a game I would currently play on it right now.
Yeah, I guess so. I would wait for a couple more games to come out on it and then buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Donkey Kong Bonanza is a good one that you should wait for.
And ZA... Pokemon
Legends
ZA
ZA,
Legends. Yep. That game's going to be crazy. But let's start off with our only question that we have.
Yeah, because we didn't get many questions this time, so...
On Fort... And from Anonymous, we have, what is your most valued Pokemon? And he actually used the correct grammar for Pokemon. I didn't realize that. He put the little
the little thing on top of the E.
thing on top of the E. And what's the most valuable Pokemon card we have? Now, have or had is a question. If it's had, I had that one Dialga. I think.
Oh, yeah, the Silver Dialga
I think
from Black and White Treasures.
Yes, it's that. I had the Mega Rayquaza Secret Rare.
Ooh.
It's like Mega Rayquaza, it's shiny, like full art Secret
I know
Rare
what you're talking about.
That card's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
I loved that card. And I sold it all to Next Level Games. Shout out, by the way. It's pretty cool. But they really undervalued my cards. But I was like, I don't care, because I wasn't into TCG at the time.
Now you are.
And now I am, and I hate myself, because having those cards would be so cool now. I miss that Dialga so much. And I got $50 for it. $50 whole for that Dialga. And I look on TCG Player, it's like $1,000. I'm like, help.
So, what's your current most valuable card?
Probably the stamped Mew count.
I would say so, yeah.
I don't want to say stamped Mew.
That kind of sucks, though. Yeah, that kind of low-key.
Okay,
what about your gold cards?
Okay, I was going to say, Crowns and the gold cards, I have the Arceus and the Palkia. And I think the Arceus is more expensive.
It is. It's like 98, I think, because the guarantee is 150.
It would be that.
Nick, can I have another Coke?
I have the first edition Holo base set, the Champ. But
that's not that valuable.
The condition is... It literally looks like I got ran over by a road roller, poured coffee on it, and then a dog chewed it. And it's somehow still in one piece. And then put a Luffy...
Yeah, put a Luffy on the screen.
Put Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece just on the screen for like 2 seconds.
Thanks, G.
Thank you.
Nikki J has brought me another Coke.
Yeah.
This is my second Coke in 30 minutes.
Dang. I used to be a lot into TCG as a kid, as a collector. Now I'm like more of a competitor. I still have a crazy amount of... I have too much bulk. I have so much bulk.
So, my most valuable card, based on value alone and not like significance to me, is probably my Mewtwo SIR from Destined Rivals.
This guy got an ETB on release day of the new new TCG set, Destined Rivals, and has SIR Mewtwo.
It's goated. It's like 383 right now.
Dang.
But I will say that my personal most valuable card is my Charizard V is my Charizard V from Brilliant Stars.
Oh yeah, that.
Because that was given to me by my girlfriend's dad as a gift. So it has some significant value to me.
Nice.
And I will never sell it. I might grade it because it looks really good, so I might grade it, but I won't ever sell it. Let's talk about PlayStation State of Play.
True.
We've got 3 notables that we can talk about. The first one,
I am so excited for this game.
I'm really excited for this. Marvel Tokon with a T and not D. We're not talking about Dragon Ball Dokkan.
We're not talking about mid.
Yeah, we're not talking about mid. We're talking about Marvel Tokon, which we don't know a lot about yet, but we have seen some gameplay footage of it.
We've seen 8 characters and a 4v4 tag fighter similar to Dragon Ball FighterZ, made by Arc Studios, the people who made Guilty Gear Strive, and it just looks so perfect.
Perfect.
Oh, it's so perfect. It literally looks like Guilty Gear Strive just 2, except it's a bunch of Marvel characters with completely unique designs and voice actors. I want to play that game so badly right now, but it's going to be released in 2026 with no official release date.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about it. We saw
He's a Marvel fan. I'm not. I just like Marvel games.
Yeah, I'm not really that big of a Marvel fan compared to like what I'm fan. Which we're gonna talk about something else this podcast, which I'm really excited for.
What? Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you till we get to it though. It's gonna be a surprise. A lot of people are probably gonna leave the episode after I say what I'm about to say because
I just now got what you're gonna talk about. That's gonna be an experience.
I probably won't talk about the lore of it.
I think you should.
Should I?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna be here for a while.
We're gonna be here. Hey, 3. Okay.
What time is it? 3:08. We might be here for a while.
We might be here next 3. But Marvel Tokon looks amazing, and the fighting game industry is thriving because a lot of the Dragon Ball FighterZ players are now going to just switch over to Marvel Tokon in a similar start game made by Arcs, which is also people who made Fighters, and sweet, because Marvel is great. The games they make are crazy. Recently, Marvel Rivals, absolute seller. Dragon Ball FighterZ community is dead and dried up, and it's still a good game.
They don't release updates anymore.
They don't. Ginyu is still top 5, which is
I know.
really cool. Maybe they should just add Ginyu to Marvel Tokon. just like slide him in there.
You know how they like. Okay, we'll reference to a game that we're gonna get to in a little bit. Sonic Racing. They should just pull a Sonic Racing and add like Hatsune Miku, Steve from Minecraft.
Can we add Bane from Injustice 2?
Yeah, can we? Yeah.
Not like DC Bane, just like Bane from specifically Injustice 2 Bane.
Yeah, that makes sense. Base.
Coolest fighting game character ever, Bane.
I don't know. You got
What?
You got Pokemon Tekken. Lucario exists in that game. He's pretty cool.
I do not remember anything about Tekken.
Wii U.
Pokken.
Oh yeah, it's Pokken. It's Tekken, but with a P.
All I know is Shadow Mewtwo amiibo card that destroys the entire Earth with his super. Yeah, he just.
Brawl Stars reference?
What?
What?
I don't even know what you just said. He literally does like a huge Frieza Dragon Ball ball and just throws it down to the Earth, and the Earth literally just explodes. Thank you, Shadow Mewtwo. Very, very, very based and cool.
Well, I've got to say that's pretty much all we know about Marvel Tokon.
Yeah.
So there are a couple other games that we have listed here. They're not as big as Marvel Tokon's going to be.
Marvel Tokon was like their big showcasing game for PlayStation State of Play.
We don't know a lot about most of these games.
Not really. We have a 007 game here.
Yeah.
And that's really, I think that's cool that they're really reviving this like N64 classic with like a bunch of just new games coming out for it. I thought that was pretty neat. I've never played it because I don't have an N64.
One-shot pistol is all I know. All I know is there's a one-shot pistol. So you get one shot, but it's a guaranteed kill.
Huh. Interesting.
I think it's in 007. I think that's the game I'm thinking
You
of.
should just give him a 24 barrel shotgun.
Yeah. Just a
Yes.
massive shotgun.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Oh, we finally got you now." Bond's name's the James. Ooh, he pulls out comically large shotgun. Actually, it's just a big blunderbuss, and it just a huge cannonball comes out of it, and
He pulls King K. Rool out of his back pocket and slams him down.
Yeah, he can fit in my back pocket. Just throw him there. I'm sure he'll fit. Speaking of King K. Rool, a Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct happened.
It did.
There was no King K. Rool.
I think Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to be one of the best modern Nintendo games.
Did you see the thing for it? They literally showed off. Okay, remember what I said? I was making a joke about it like being like Devil May Cry Donkey Kong Edition.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong has Devil Trigger.
Yeah.
Like, he just has Devil Trigger. He goes Super Saiyan 4. Like,
It looks more like Gear 4 Luffy.
I don't know One Piece. I know Gear 5 Luffy. He's like the White Cloud.
Yeah. Basically, Gear 4 Luffy looks exactly like Donkey Kong. Bananas form.
Hence the name Monkey.
Yeah.
Monkey D. Luffy. Wow.
Yeah.
One Piece.
One Piece reference.
One
Put
Piece.
Luffy on the screen, editor.
Yeah, it's like second appearance of Luffy for 2 seconds.
Okay, we're
Incredible.
good.
And then there's also
Zebra Donkey Kong.
Silent Hill. I don't know much about Silent Hill, but I thought the game showcase looked pretty cool, and people seemed excited about it in the chat. So, golf clap, just a little golf. And stop. Summer Game Fest.
Oh yeah.
Holy peak. Holy
ASMR
peak,
Summer
dude.
Game
Summer
Fest.
Game Fest was peak.
ASMR Summer Game Fest.
6 damage counters.
Yeah, 6 damage counters and then Euclase.
Summer Game Fest. There's a lot that they showed off at Summer Game Fest. We got Street Fighter 6 DLC Pass 3 showcase, which is stupid and crazy because we literally just got the final character for Pass 2. And like I think the day or the day the next day after that character was playable, they revealed Pass 3.
Huh.
Which is crazy. And Pass 3 has still just it's
People
just
like Steve, Joker,
Frog-
Kazuya.
Ooh, let's do it. Yeah, we have Sagat.
I don't know this game, so this is all you.
Sagat, I think he was in like a Street Fighter 2, and he was just like the top tier because he was just this filthy zoner with chip damage in his projectiles. Sea Viper, Alex, and there was somebody else. I don't remember.
Skibbity toilet. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm
Street
so
Fighter.
sorry.
I'm uниnstalling Street Fighter.
I'm so
Oh
sorry.
my
Please,
gosh.
please forgive me. I'm so sorry.
Let's not
I'm
put Skibbity Toilet in Street Fighter.
I'm so sorry. Please don't leave. Please stay and watch the rest. I promise it'll be worth your while.
Oh my gosh. Secret DLC pass.
Secret?
18. No. Not yet. No. Put it in a box and hold it.
The FNaF 4 box. The lore.
Stop it. Okay. Sonic Racing is also a game now. I remember when Sonic Racing was announced and the Mario Kart World was announced, people were like, yeah, Sonic Racing is going to be the worst racing game in
It's
comparison.
probably better than Mario.
And
Kart
now
World.
when we see the cast of characters that Sonic Racing has, okay, they got there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of DLC.
they got Hatsune Miku.
Hatsune Miku from Hatsune Miku Vocaloid.
Yeah.
Ichiban from Like a Dragon Yakuza series. Joker from Persona 5. Steve Minecraft with Alex and the Creeper skins. And another character. There's actually another character. Do you know who it is?
Yeah.
SpongeBob.
No. Oh yeah, that's right. They leaked it.
They leaked SpongeBob. This roster is stupid and evil. Actually, it's not evil. No, it's really cool. I don't know how, but the Sonic Racing games get the craziest crossovers ever. Like, the one in the 3DS. The one in the 3DS, you can literally play as Heavy Team Fortress 2. Literally. There's literally... Okay, so in, like, this 3D game, I think, because Trayvon yaps about it too much, and I know too much about it. In, like, the 3DS game, there's, like, 3 different carts. A road cart, an air cart, and a water cart. Every form of cart that they have is a different Team Fortress 2 Merc, and it's, like, the Heavy, Spy, and Pyro. Oh. Like, that's stupid. And it... beautiful and gorgeous in every imaginable way, because yes, we have now connected ties to Heavy and SpongeBob. That's all we needed, guys. We needed it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta leak the podcast. Wreckers is live.
Who?
For All Stars streamer.
Mid stars. Don't care. And Ichiban. Sonic Racing, and Ichiban, Like a Dragon,
My mic's muted. My mic's been muted. I don't know for how long.
Your mic's. We're gonna continue normally.
Yeah, we're gonna continue normally.
Yeah. Ichiban, Like a Dragon, Sonic Racing. What's also, you know what else is Like a Dragon?
What?
This new Like a Dragon game showcase at Summer Game Fest. Stronger Than Heaven. Takes place in Japan. Who would have thought? It's the Yakuza series.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
Gosh. That was evil. That was actually just evil. Mischievous.
Ooh. I just discarded my hand and drew 6 cards.
6?
Burst roar.
Okay. New
doesn't understand.
Like a Dragon game. Stronger Than Heaven. It's in Japan. Takes place in the 1940s something. And I thought the game was crazy good graphics-wise, and it has jazz music playing in the background for a Yakuza game. That sounds pretty peak. I love that. I've never been a Yakuza fan. I do know.
Yes, you have. Because you're like a dragon.
You want to know what else is like a dragon?
Mewtwo.
Susie from Deltarune in Chapter 4 leaks Old Man Christian.
I won't stop talking about Deltarune.
Okay. Back on podcast episode 2, I told I would finish Deltarune. I actually finished it before I even realized I actually finished Deltarune 2. I just forgot. I didn't do the Spamton fight. Oops. But yesterday, I literally just finished Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4. It's very good. Very good. You have to spend $25 for it. It's not free anymore, but it's good. It's worth it. I enjoyed my $25 well spent. And there's a lot of lore and a lot of cool little Easter eggs. Just hold it. Contain it. Contain.
Go back in the FNaF 4 box. Stay there.
Okay, Resident Evil 9, I think was their headline game. It was actually really nice because Capcom hasn't made a new Resident Evil game in a good while. They've just done remasters of Resident Evil other games. Like 4, because they got to remaster 4, of course. Why not? I don't know. I don't really know.
I can't wait till they remaster 5.
Is that Resident Evil 5?
I don't know.
I don't
There's
know.
Resident Evil 9.
Well, there's Mario Kart 8. Where's Mario Kart 5?
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
Don't. It's Mario Kart Double Dash.
Resident Evil 5. It exists.
What game was it? What system was it on?
PS3, Xbox 360, and PC.
Oh. Dang.
In 2009.
That's old. But yeah, that's our headline game. I'm sad because that means no DMC6.
Yeah, no DMC6.
I'm gonna have to wait longer. Wah. And then we have the Xbox Showcase that I don't really think had anything too crazy outside of a Persona 4 remastered.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, and the fans loved it, but it was like 1 second of gameplay.
Yeah.
And it was just like the character walking, and then there's like background music, and people were like, wow, Persona 4.
Joker.
I
don't think Joker was in Persona 4.
No, it wasn't Joker. It's something else. But yeah. Very cool, very cool. Why
are my people here?
Okay. Persona 4 is a thing. Remastered. Nice.
COD 7.
Call of Duty 7. Nobody asked for it.
COD has enough games, as is.
It's gonna get another game, and
They have to make their money.
I'm just not gonna buy it. I don't know. I used to be a huge COD kid. Like, I would purchase every Call of Duty game.
I had
ever.
COD on the DS.
I also had it on the DS.
It was peak gameplay.
It wasn't peak gameplay.
No, it wasn't.
There was no gameplay.
Yeah.
It was pixels on a screen that you'd be like, ooh, oh. You have to like put it up. You have to be like, oh.
Oh, there's the bad guy.
Yeah,
you know.
shoot. When you press you press your little R button, that's probably broken already. It's like, yeah, wow, game.
My DS was in perfect condition, and then I traded it in so I could get a 3DS.
Nice. But yeah, COD 7's here. Cool. I couldn't care less. Silk Song got more gameplay showcase, so maybe Silk Song will be released. Maybe.
Maybe?
I still don't think it's gonna
Highly doubt
released. I don't think it's gonna release still. Oops. Silk Song is fake. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Silk Song isn't real. This podcast isn't real.
And then stop.
This is
stop,
the truth.
Stop. we got High on Life 2.
Yeah, High on Life too.
I don't know what that is.
It's okay. The only thing I know about that game is it's the gun. It's like the game where your gun talks to you, and it's Morty. It's Morty from Rick and Morty.
Yeah, okay, I know
They're
that
making a
game.
second one.
Okay.
That's all I know about that game. It's just the Morty gun.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, geez, you really gotta get him. You know, you shoot him with me. I'm your gun. And now we can get into
TCG. My favorite part. I love talking about Pokemon TCG. Okay, so we've got a lot of things to talk about here. Joltik is not one of them. Joltik's been a thing for a while. We don't need to talk about Joltik. What we need to talk about today is two of the new sets that are being released. The first one that we're going to talk about is Black Bolt and White Flare, the last Scarlet and Violet set.
That is true, yeah. Once Black Bolt, White Flare are here, we're going to go into the format where they're going to start calling all the sets with Pokemon Legends ZA.
Except, I don't know if the packaging will say Legends ZA. I think it'll just say the name of it. I think we're going into a format where it'll literally just say Mega Symphony.
Which is Mega Gardevoir.
Oh, we'll get into that in a second.
Mega Gardevoir. Speaking of Mega Gardevoir, did you see the Curlia they have?
Yeah, search your deck for up to 3 Pokemon and put them in your hand.
Welcome back, Yellow Border Curlia.
Yeah, woo!
I hate Gardevoir. That's gonna.
Yeah, Gardevoir's crazy. It's so stupid.
Why are we buffing Gardevoir?
You know they're adding a stadium too.
Yes.
That's basically just the Curlia, but
Better.
yeah, because of the stadium.
It's just like, dude, we don't need any more Gardevoir buffs. Gardevoir is already the best deck in format. Let's
Yeah.
just stop.
Yeah.
Like, Gardevoir's already the best deck in format. We're getting this Curlia. We're getting Mega Gardevoir. Like, come on. Cut us some slack. Give us a good dark type.
Yeah, good dark type to counter
Good dark type.
Grimmsnarl? No.
That deck.
Loki sucks. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
I know.
honest.
It's crazy. That
I don't know how I made it so far. I genuinely think Grimmsnarl, Frostlass, Monkey Dory sucks.
people hype that deck up so much. And then at NAIC, it got a sixth place.
It did.
That was the highest placing. It was.
It got 7th, I think, actually. At NAIC, I think it got 7th.
But yeah, new TCG sets with Black Bolt, White Flare. We're getting a lot of interesting cards. There's a lot.
There is a lot that we need to talk about with these sets. I think the first thing that we should probably talk about is, of course, the cover art Pokemon Reshiram and Zekrom.
Yes, they are basic 230 HP Pokemon. One of them is fire typed.
One of them's electric.
One of them is electric typed.
Reshiram's, of course, the fire type. Zekrom's the electric.
Yeah. What's interesting is they both do the exact same thing, but are very different. Not very different. It's like ever so slightly different for like what you have to spend.
I was going to say, I think the Reshiram is going to be better than the Zekrom.
Yeah, the Reshiram is like 180.
Because you have Embor that can power it up. So for reference, the Zekrom, you need 2 electric type energy, 1 colorless, and you do 130 base damage and 50 for each prize card your opponent's taken. So basically Charizard EX, the Terra one. But it costs 30 health. The Zekrom cost 30 health to attack, but the Reshiram requires 2 fire type energy and a colorless, and it does the same thing, except instead of taking 30 damage, you discard an energy. So you could combo it with boomerang energy,
Yeah.
and it would be a busted Pokemon.
I will say, for what it is on the Charizard, it's really different. Because this is actually a good fire type.
Yes, Charizard is a dark type, so it kind of sucks
Yeah.
because dark type just isn't that good, and it uses fire energy. And back then, the only fire type energy acceleration was Charizard EX itself. Also, live taste test of shrimp ramen noodles.
Shrimp flavored Ho-Chan ramen noodles.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
But, yeah.
I don't
Now,
know.
there's like a little bit of differences between this and the Charizard. It's a basic, the typing's different, its attack costs an extra colorless energy, but its base damage actually is a little bit less than the Charizard. However, it does more for every
I was
prize
gonna
card.
say it scales up way faster than the Charizard.
It scales
does.
up so much better and will do a lot of damage.
Early too. Like if the opponent takes 2 prize cards, that's more than the Charizard if they took 2
Yeah.
already. Well,
Like-
no, it's 10 less, but the point is it powers up way faster.
Yeah, it powers up so much faster, scales better for the Charizard, and is much more as a comeback Pokemon, more than the Charizard is itself, which is interesting.
Okay, shrimp ramen noodles. Okay, that's Loki banger. I love that. Okay, I'm gonna mute. You talk about TCG for a little bit. I'm gonna eat my ramen noodles.
Okay. It's all me now. There's a lot of cards. Okay, he's finally muted, guys. You know what we're talking about? We're talking about Wailord. What is up? We're talking about Wailord. He's muted. He can't talk.
Shut up. I had to
Dang.
unmute for this. Wailord is not gonna be good. I do not see it.
Okay, fine.
but you talk about it anyways. You can talk about it anyways because, you know what, I can see it being a good rogue deck. So you talk about it.
I'm not gonna talk about it to save time. Oh, but yeah, there's Reshiram, Zekrom, very similar. There's also the same archetype as the Reshiram and the Zekrom is the Curum. That does the same thing except different. Okay, what it does, it's still a comeback comeback Pokemon card. It does 10 damage to every Pokemon on the bench, but it does 10 more for every prize your opponent has taken. So instead of hitting much harder on the active like the Reshiram and the Zekrom, the Curum is going to be a very good bench hitter. That, if your opponent has taken, all but one prize card, you're hitting 60 damage for everything on the bench, which is a lot of damage. It is, a water type? Water typing is not, it's probably the worst typing, honestly.
It's about to become the best typing. With Black Bull White Flare, it's about to become a really good typing. Yeah. I can already see it.
It doesn't hit much for weakness. It'll hit fire stuff for weakness. Cool. Its weakness is grass, which, grass isn't a terrible weakness to have, unless it's like a specific one. It's like lightning.
Water types are typically weak to electric.
Oh.
Because dark type is weak to grass type, so you'd make grass type really busted if you also had water type weak to grass.
Oh.
I know it's like there's like a type triangle, but most water types are weak to electric. Actually, I'm pretty sure all water types are weak to electric.
Okay.
Which kind of low-key sucks. Because it's very unexpected when you're playing the game and you have and you're going up against a grass deck and you're like, oh, I have weakness. But then you remember, oh yeah, Pokemon Triangle doesn't apply here. A lot of triangles don't apply in this game.
Yeah. Like Glaceon is weak to steel type.
Well, that makes sense because Glaceon's an ice type.
Yeah, but it's a water type in TCG.
Yeah, but they don't have ice type in TCG, which, I'm going to be honest, I think they should add the rest of the typings and then make like a proper type matchup chart.
Well, okay.
I understand that some stuff would be unbalanced.
Think about it like this.
They should add the fairy type.
We already have a lot of energies.
Yeah.
Some decks are gonna need much more energy to use. But I will say I think a lot of the cards in that set are definitely good. A lot of the fire types are appealing towards burn. I'm interested in the burn meta. I don't know if it's going to be meta. I know there's a lot that you could go about with burn. You have this Emboar that accelerates energy just like the Baxcalibur, but for fire energy. A Volcarona that discards a fire energy, and your opponent's active is burnt. And then there's Magmortar from our Journey Together set that will make burn do 3 more damage counters, resulting in 5 damage counters. And I know you're going to say Meloetta EX.
There's going to be a lot of donks.
Yes. There's also Incineroar EX. It's been a card forever. Never seen anything, but maybe it sees something now with a burn meta where its attack does 240 damage and burns the active. It might see some play, and I would like it to because Incineroar is the coolest Pokemon ever. And even for more burn, Journey Together had Volcanion EX with an ability saying if this Pokemon's in the active, you may make your opponent's active burnt. There is a lot of ways to burn your Pokemon, your opponent's active Pokemon.
Now there is. There used to not be a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be with Black Belt White Flare. There's so much burn.
They're trying to make burn meta.
I wonder if there's going to be a burn box.
Probably. Also, I know you said I was going to talk about Meloetta. I am going to talk about Meloetta. Meloetta is going to be insane for turn 1 donks.
Yeah.
So, Meloetta has an ability that allows it to attack first. Or attack when you go first. Which is just broken. Because you can use stuff like its attack, which does 30 damage and then 80 damage the next turn. Or, you can use Technical Machine.
Yep, and that's
You can
where
use any
stuff
technical
gets-
machine.
And that's where stuff gets evil.
Because for burn, you can bring out Volcanion, Latios, and Meloetta. And if you have Buddy Poffin, then you can Buddy Poffin out 2 Magmar, burn with Volcanion, retreat for free with Latios into Meloetta, TM Evo, boom. That's turn 1 donk on any 80 HP Pokemon.
Yeah, and that's hitting anything that's Buddy Poffin-able and Shaman. So that is, yeah, burn donks are a thing now. And I'm interested in seeing how that ends up being in the meta. Maybe Incineroar is included, maybe not, I don't know. I think Incineroar can see some play. Particularly because Embar accelerates fire energy, and Incineroar needs like 5 energy to attack at maximum, but with its ability, it does go less with more of your opponent's benched Pokemon. But it hits 240 on the active, it burns the active, it could see a lot of play with the right burn deck.
I think you can see a lot of play too. But off topic of burn, there's also a lot of other good cards.
There
They're
is.
releasing a new, or actually they already released it. This is going back a little bit to Destined Rivals. They released a Gorbis and a Huntail that majorly buffed water types.
Oh, yo, Huntail, literally, okay, Huntail is crazy busted, and when you combine Excalibur with all of that, you can't lose any water energy. Every water energy you play will sit in your hand and then sit on your active, which is evil and messed up and just busted.
So for reference, the Huntail has an ability that whenever your active, I'm so sorry. Whenever your active water type Pokemon is knocked out, any water type energy attached goes back into your hand. And with the Excalibur, you can attach as much as you want. So, cards like the Wailord, I guess,
This
as a
Wailord.
rogue deck,
Okay, look, 240 HP single prizer that is hitting for a minimum of 210, but since it's Excalibur, you can just easily one-shot anything.
yeah,
And
and
Huntail lets you get all the energy back, you sit it back on another Wailord, and it gets stronger with more energy, and that's just like,
I'll admit, it's kind of busted.
I want to see it be played.
It's growing on me. I might play it as a rogue deck, I'm going to be honest. It looks really fun, actually.
The one issue with it is like, it's Wailord's water type, that water type doesn't do anything. If the bird meta evolves, maybe water does
I was going to say,
something.
water type might become more... But there's no fire type decks right now, unfortunately.
There's Ethan Typhlosion, and that's really it.
Yeah. But that's also a rogue deck. So... It's just one of those things where it's like, it's going to be
There's
very...
Flareon.
There is Flareon, but I think Wailord is going to be one of those decks where if the meta shifts to have a burn style deck and the burn deck is good, it's going to be a good card. But even if it's not, it's still hitting for 210 basically every
Yeah,
turn, no matter
minimum
what.
of 210 and 240 HP on a single prizer. That's a lot of HP and a lot of damage that a single prizer is dishing out. And the fact that like you just take one prize, you're getting outprized in the prize race by Wailord. I feel like consistently.
Yeah.
It's like
Do you play the Wailord deck on TCG Live?
I do.
Is that good?
It's really freaking good. Your opponent it's so hard for your opponent to stop Wailord. If they have like good bench sniping potentiality, they can hit the
I feel like it'd
Huntail.
have bad matchups into Dragapult and Grimmsnarl.
Yeah. Those do suck because if you hit the Wailord and the Huntail, it's now or the Excalibur, it's really hard to now set up really good,
Yeah.
which is like, man,
The Grimmsnarl is probably more tolerable than Dragapult, just because Dragapult does 60 damage counters anywhere on the board and any way it likes.
yeah.
So I can definitely see the water type meta shifting. And you also have the Kyurem coming out. So the
Yeah.
Kyurem could also shift that a little bit more. But I think it's going to be somewhat meta. Maybe not the best deck, but it will definitely be meta.
Yeah. There's a lot of different metas that are a lot of different decks that can maybe become meta. A lot of decks that are going to become unmeta.
And let's talk about some decks that are probably going to go up, even though they can't go up in the meta. The main one being Gardevoir. Gardevoir is getting a new card, a new Mega card in Mega Symphony. This card has 340 HP. And
No, it's 370.
There's no way it's 370. I refuse to believe that it's 370.
It's 370 or 360. I know the Lucario is 340. The Mega Gardevoir has more HP than the Lucario. I think it's 370.
360. Oh my god. Okay, that changes a little bit. So it has 360 health, which means it's going to require more energy for Raging Bolt to knock out. But that doesn't even matter because it hits Raging Bolt for weakness. But what this Gardevoir does, this Gardevoir, for 1 energy cost, you search your deck for each Psychic-type Pokemon in play, search for a Psychic-type energy, and attach it to every single one of your Psychic-type Pokemon in play.
And then your second attack
Does 50 damage for each Psychic energy in play. 50 damage for it sets itself up.
Yeah.
It's impossible to one-shot, and it sets itself up.
And I'm gonna tell you about one card that got revealed in here too that I think it's going to ruin everything. So, Mega Gardevoir doesn't need a lot of energy.
No,
It just needs 1 energy to attack.
Yeah,
It's fine.
And it needs 2 to attack with the secondary attack.
No, I think it's both.
Is it both?
I
one?
think it's
There's
both.
no
just,
way it's both.
I
one.
literally think it's
There's
both just
no.
1
It's
energy.
both one. Holy crap!
And guess what? There is a supporter that
Wally.
if you discard every energy on your Mega Pokemon, you heal all the damage.
Oh my, yeah, that Wally is gonna. This is gonna change meta. The meta is genuinely going to change. So much.
We're gonna go back into a format of Pokemon Center Lady, heal constantly. Except we don't have that discard pile back into your deck.
That was
Thingy,
banned
whatever.
anyways.
Yeah, it was banned.
But
Maybe the Stoutland, it does the same thing.
So speaking of the Wally, you could play 4 Wally and then a couple Pow Pads, and you could just keep recycling Wally.
Yes,
If you play Mega Pidgeot, or
Yes.
not Mega Pidgeot, normal Pidgeot from Obsidian Flames, the one that searches for any card, you could just continuously search for Wally.
Yeah, it's another thing about this. That's not even the hardest. That's not even like the biggest Mega for HP.
No, it's not.
Mega Venusaur. Showcase.
380 health.
That we are officially reaching the 400 HP borderline for Pokemon, and not only does this have like 380 HP, like wow, that's a lot of HP. Its attack heals 30 damage.
And you also have Wally, which heals all damage done to the active Mega Pokemon if you discard all energy from it. Which kind of sucks for Venusaur because Venusaur needs 4 energy to attack.
Nah, just Heal Mask, bro.
But,
Just Heal Mask it.
hold on, we haven't talked about the ability of Venusaur yet. Venusaur's ability allows it to move Grass-type energy around the board in any way it wants on your Pokemon. So you can have 4 Teal Mask out.
And it's fulfilled.
Superior energy retrieval for all 4 Grass-type energies that you discarded to heal Venusaur, Teal Dance them all back on, and then you use the Venusaur to move all that energy back onto Venusaur.
And you hit again.
And you hit again, and you heal 30 more health. But that doesn't even matter, because you're fully healed with Wally.
This is going to become a meta of unkillable, big-hitting, hard-to-kill Megas.
And let's not forget, there are 2 other Megas that kind of low-key suck, but they still exist.
No, okay, I think the Mega Latias is busted.
I think it's busted, too.
Because just run that with Dragapult, it uses the same energy cost.
Hold on, though. Hold on. That Latias, so the Latias does the exact same thing as Pikachu.
It has a strafe.
What does Strafe do?
It's a U-turn attack.
No way it has a U-turn attack.
It has a U-turn attack.
No
for
way.
One colorless, it has a U-turn attack. And you just U-turn into Jellicent EX. Item and tool lock, guys. Let's go.
Hold on, I gotta look at this.
That's what it does. I looked at it. That is what it does. It is so evil.
Hold on, where do I find the... Yeah, this one right here.
It's... This is a very...
Does it do damage?
It
Does
does
strafe do damage?
40 or 50 damage. But
It does 40. And then it has an attack, and this is where it gets really busted, because this is going to be insane with some of the cards that are in the game right now. So you've got a 300 damage attack that requires 1 fire, 1 psychic, and 1 colorless, and it does 300 damage, and you discard all energy from it, right?
yeah.
You've got the new Embor, which accelerates fire type energy. You've got the what is Zatu? You've got Zatu,
Yeah,
which
Zatu.
accelerates psychic, and then you have Boomerang. That you can attack every single turn.
And the thing that's evil is it's Dragon type, Fire and Psychic, Dragapult.
Yeah, I was gonna say it works
Exact
in
same
Dragapult.
energy of Dragapult, and you could just throw this with Dragapult.
Yeah,
And-
because it's a basic. It's a basic.
It's literally a basic
I don't
Pokemon.
even. How much health does it have?
280 HP.
Yeah, 280 on a basic Pokemon, a basic Dragon type Pokemon. Now, granted, it does get hard countered by Liz Clefairy.
Yeah.
But if you attack before and you can boss up that Clefairy, 300 damage, boom, Clefairy's gone, you win. Because let's be real, I'm so baffled by how much the meta is genuinely changing for Pokemon.
Yes.
We are going into a meta where it's energy acceleration. Energy acceleration, attack as early as possible
And not die.
and not die. Tanky, hard-hitting Pokemon. And I understand that they're Mega Pokemon, but every set until the new Pokemon game comes out is going to have a Mega Pokemon.
Yeah, and from what we're seeing from these Megas so far, they are crazy.
We also have a Lucario, which has 340. One attack for 1 fighting type energy, and it doesn't do any damage, unfortunately, but it attaches 3 fighting type energy in any way you like to any of your Pokemon.
Mamoswine.
Mamoswine, that's a good point. There's also its secondary attack, which does like 270 or something like that. Let me look it up real quick.
It does a good amount of damage, and then you also have to consider the item that's showcased with it as well. Now, keep in mind, this is an item, not a tool.
Oh yeah, this is
It
an
is
item.
an item that boosts fighting type damage. An item card that can be played as often as you like during your turn. It does 30 more damage for every, what is it? It's like Superior Fighting Pro or something like that. I don't know. And it just does 30 more damage on an item, which means you can just stack it. If you have all 4 of these items in your hand, you play them all 4 at once. You do 120 more damage your next turn. Congrats. Like, that's what, 390? Which, hey, one-shots anything in format. Hooray! Even Venusaur, which is crazy.
Oh! Holy, what do you mean? Okay, so the Mega Lucario has 340 HP, right?
Yeah.
The 1 energy attack does 130 damage.
That,
And it attaches 3 basic fighting energy from your discard pile to your benched Pokemon in any way you like. The other attack is Mega Brave. It does 270 damage, and during your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Mega Brave.
yeah.
But, also, they're going into this is not really for meta. This is just Pokemon, like, cards in general. They're going into, like, a selling format where it's dual sets instead of a single set. So if you want all of these cards,
sets.
you have to buy 2 sets, which kind of
Just
sucks.
like the games.
Yeah, just like the games, which is I don't like it, but it makes sense, I guess, because you can have more cards that way.
Yeah.
But let's go back. Let's keep talking about Megas for a second here.
These Megas, I think, are just going to be meta. I think most of them are going to be best deck in format. Maybe not like Lucario or the Latias. The Latias is going to help Dragapult.
It's definitely going to help Dragapult.
But best deck
Dragapult
in
decks-
format is going to still be Gardevoir.
Dragapult decks are going to change a ton. I think Dragapult's not going to run Crispin anymore. I think it's not going to run the Neo Upper. I think it's going to start running the Emboar and the Xatu for energy acceleration.
Yeah.
And possibly Boomerang Energy for that extra energy on Latias.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
it's going to have
yeah.
Dragapult. Honestly, I can see Latias being the main attacker. And
Okay.
Dragapult being backup. Which, this is something else we need to talk about. Latias kind of sucks, because your opponent takes 3 prize cards if they knock it out.
Yeah.
Megas, so to balance out Megas a little more,
You gotta take a you get to
you get to take an extra prize card. What?
There
Can you
is a
see it?
fly.
Can you see it on the
I see it.
Hi,
oh my
little
gosh.
fly?
Hello.
That's bonkers.
Yeah. Anyways, megas.
So, you take 3 prize cards, but for some Megas, it just doesn't matter because they have so much HP and Wally exists that your opponent's never going to take that prize card.
Yeah.
And decks like Gardevoir that already do an obscene amount of damage have amazing matchups into Dragapult, into Latias, into what's the other dragon type? Bolt, Raging Bolt. They just have amazing matchups into those because it has Glace Clefairy. And I can't remember, but I think they're adding a way to prevent Gust.
What?
It might be on a Pokemon, but I might be wrong. I think it's like Pachirisu. Never mind. Pachirisu is also a new Pokemon that they're releasing. If it gets hit, 8 damage counters on the active.
8?
8 damage counters.
Okay.
But I can see Dragapult running Latias as the main attacker and Dragapult as backup, and running Emboar and Xatu as energy attachments, and Boomerang Energy. You're set up turn 2 if you can get both of these out and Boomerang out.
And you already have the rare candies for Dragapult.
Yeah.
So
One rare
Emboar-
candies for Emboar.
And that's you have the Emboar already there. So boom.
Meta is about to shift so much. I'm kind of at first I was like hesitant because I was like, this isn't that good.
I was like, yeah, I thought the same way. I was like, okay, these are good cards, but that 3 prize, that's like half the game.
And then they announced Wally.
Then they announced Wally, and I was like, oh,
These are busted.
Okay.
These are amazing. And you have Palpad that could just retrieve Wally from.
these Pokemon literally have like, okay, it would make sense if these had expensive energies. They don't. They really don't have energies that are expensive. The only one that does is like Venusaur, which, we've already explained, accelerates itself because of Teal Mask and it being a grass type. So Wally is going to be
and it's so easy to draw into Wally because of Teal Mask.
Like, you want to know what you could just do? Hey, let's just run all Pokegear, all Palpads, all Wally. Boom. You can't kill Venusaur. You can't kill these Megas. And these Megas are hitting and hitting. They're hitting hard. And they have meta types besides Lucario, fighting type.
Kind of sucks right now because of psychic typing.
Yeah.
But it's still, these cards might genuinely change the meta for either the worse or the better, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
If you love Mega Pokemon, then it's for the better. If you like the meta where it currently stands and you think it's already busted, then it's for the worse. Because you're upping the HP of basic Pokemon, Stage 1 Pokemon, and Stage 2 Pokemon. You're upping the damage output. You're increasing abilities that just make... Oh yeah, also Toedscruel. I can see it becoming a really good deck with the Venusaur. Because you can just move energy around.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see Toedscruel actually being a good deck.
Toadscruel. Ugh. Also, yeah, Toadscruel, NAIC. It got 5th place for no...
No reason at all. Just got 4th or 5th.
Barely.
It almost made it in the top cut, but it didn't.
Yeah, we can talk about NAIC for a little bit. NAIC happened. Just like the meta. Grands was a Gardevoir Ditto.
Yeah.
Like, wow, best second format into best second format. Crazy. Top 4, mind you, was 3 Gardevoirs, 1 Dragapult. So...
And the Dragapult made it pretty far. Dragapult made it to 3rd.
Yeah. So it was that. It was a neat little adventure for Gardevoir players. But what's weird is it's like Gardevoir is like uncommon. But Dragapult, Raging Bolt, they're all common. And it almost is just like freebies because there's like maybe like 5, okay, let's say like 5 Gardevoir players and there's like 20 Dragapult players and like 25 Raging Bolt players. Those are just a bunch of free matchups because of Clefairy. You just go through all the way, and you're like, oh, look, I'm in top 8,
Clefairy
guys.
was a busted card. They added a busted card in Journey together. Clefairy changed meta permanently.
Yeah.
Mostly because the funny part is, if they would have added Clefairy earlier, like G, if they would have added it in G, it would have been okay.
Oh, wait,
because when the new
wait.
set comes out, Clefairy would have went out. But Clefairy is in for the next 2 years.
Yeah. We're gonna be seeing Clefairy for a good while.
And the thing is, Gardevoir might be a G, but Mega Gardevoir exists.
Yeah, once normal Gardevoir rotates,
You have Mega Gardevoir.
you have Mega Gardevoir now. It's a much different deck, but it's still Gardevoir, and it's still busted, and probably going to end up being the best second format still.
It's probably going to end up being best format for a while.
But
The best second format. So the part that kind of sucks about this is I teach people how to play Pokemon in our friend group a lot.
Yes.
I'm teaching 2 people right now, John and Nick, our producer.
Yes.
This meta shift kind of sucks because they want to learn now, but the meta is about to hugely shift. So if I teach them now, I'm teaching them current meta.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have to learn a whole new meta with mega Pokemon that are just going to be meta, and I'm going to have to teach them all about the mega Pokemon, and which I'm still going to teach them. I'm not going to not teach them just because of the meta shifting. I'm still going to teach them. It's just going to be difficult.
Yeah, this meta shift is oddly timed.
It is very oddly timed, at least for me and you, because you're helping me teach them.
Yeah. And I'm also fairly new as well. I kind of started competing around Surging Sparks time.
I started competing beginning of Scarlet and Violet era, which was a very good time to start because there were a lot of the meta didn't really shift that much. It still required a lot of Vs, so it didn't really shift that much. A lot of people were able to teach me.
No, you played when Reggie Drago was in format.
I did play when Reggie Drago was in format. I also played a little bit during Sun and Moon era, back way when, but I did not play competitively back then. But now I play really competitively. I'd say I'm a pretty good player.
Yeah.
If I had a good deck, I'd play really well.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of decks, me and you, we each talk about one deck that we want to build with this new format and meta.
The megas or
the megas.
Okay.
The megas, with the megas in mind, what is a deck that you think can succeed?
I'm not going to say Gardevoir because that's an obvious.
You already
Gardevoir
know
is
my
going to
answer.
succeed. Glaceon. Okay, I want to hear you talk about Glaceon. I want to hear the Glaceon.
All right. I think Glaceon is going to be a really good deck. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't know what the Glaceon does. I'm going to ramble a little bit. The Glaceon is a Stage 1 evolved from Eevee, a terastallized 270 HP Pokemon. It's water type. Weakness is Steel, which is really good because there's no good Steel decks right now. There is Goldengo.
Maybe Goldengo, maybe Archaludum, but those aren't really top decks right now. So you don't have to worry about those.
Yeah.
Really, you don't have a weakness right now.
Yeah. It's a very good Ice type. Ice type weakness is really good. No. It being canonically Ice type and its weakness is Steel, really good for the meta right now. There is not going to be a huge meta Steel type card for a good while. And let's look at its attacks. Frost Bullet for water and a colorless. You do 110 to the active and 30 to a bench. That's okay. You can knock out a Monkey Dory and a baby Pokemon, whatever. That's okay damage. Now its second attack is where stuff gets crazy and where I think the meta really shifts towards Glaceon's favor. It's called Euclase. It does no damage, but for a leaf, water, and dark energy, if a Pokemon, any Pokemon on your opponent's in play from your opponent's side has exactly six damage counters on it, you instantly knock it out. It is an insta knockout, and it also does no damage. So abilities like Pikachu's Sturdy ability do not get triggered because this attack does no damage. And it's like,
It is literally just a KO. It's like frenzied gouging. It's literally just a knockout.
Yeah.
It's a guaranteed knockout. No abilities can kick in to stop it from being knocked out. It just gets knocked out.
Exactly. Now, what really ties this all together is the fact that this runs a dark energy for that attack. You want to know what else wants to use a dark energy to move damage counters around?
Monkey Dory.
The GOAT of all time, the GOAT of the modern era. Oh, Monkey Dory! Coolest card, the best card in format right now, Monkey Dory, will gladly use that dark energy. And Monkey Dory moves 30 damage counters. So here's the thing. 2 Monkey Dories in play. Move 6 damage counters off of your Glaceon, and there's an insta knockout right then and there. And if you're running into Megas, you take those 3 prizes and they cannot heal because it's instant. It is instant.
Yeah, so if you move 60 damage... I guess I see it now. If you move 60 damage counters off with 2 Monkey Dory, they don't have time to heal that with Megas. That's 3 prize cards.
There's 3 prize cards just gone right there. It's so good at sniping because if you're finding something even like a Raging Bolt, like let's say you're playing against Raging Bolt and it's Glaceon, you could just be like, your Teal Mask Ogerpon is the entire engine. Boom, it's gone. Boom, it's just gone.
Yeah.
Raging Bolt doesn't attack anymore. And it's also a stage 1. You get to run Rigid Band that takes 30 less damage from attacks. So it's more tanky. But what you can also do with this deck is run Blissey. Blissey has been seen play with the Monkey Dories before. And it's your stage 1 with colorless, 300 HP. That's a lot of HP. Put Rigid Band on it. Now it's 330 essentially. It's a very good squish. You can squish up damage. I don't think it gets knocked out by anything too, like, it's really hard to instantly knock it out.
I think the only thing that could probably knock it out is the new Mega Lucario, because it's weak to fighting.
Right, it is weak to fighting. That is correct. I keep forgetting fighting types of weakness, because you don't see fighting types.
Yeah, but we're about to see fighting types.
We're going to see a fighting type soon, but yeah, Blissey is here. Its attack is also really good. I think it does like 180. And it draws until you have 6 cards in hand, so that's a decent little engine right there. And its ability, your ability for Blissey is literally a built-in energy switch.
Yeah.
You get to switch energy, which is, now, this is where stuff gets crazy. You run Dark Energy for Euclase and Monkey Dories. You can energy switch a Monkey Dory that has already used Adrenal Brain and move that Dark Energy onto the Glaceon to use the same dark energy to just Euclase and knock out. And you could just, the cards that you run are just so simple. Like your Sparkling Crystal, so where if you need to, you can set up in 1 turn with a Crispin and a Sparkling Crystal. You're set up in 1 turn. Your Monkey Dories aren't set up, but it's fine because you can set up in 1 turn. Frost Bullets and attack.
I'd play Artisan.
Artisan?
Yeah, as your stadium. Then you can search for Monkey Dory.
Exactly, yeah. Your
And
Monkey,
you can search for Chansey.
Your Monkey Dory, your Chansey, yeah. I think it really sees a spot in the meta. Glaceon will instant knock out the Megas. Its weakness is so just non-existent. And even Blissey's
How much health does it have?
It has
280?
270.
270?
With Rigid Band, it's 300.
That kind of sucks, because most of the Megas do at least that much.
The only one that hits that much is Latias.
And Lucario. And Mega Gardevoir.
Yes.
So, you kind of have to knock out before they get the knockout.
What? Yeah. But the thing is, it sets up faster. Glaceon sets up in 1 turn. That 50 HP Eevee goes into the active. You can evolve it the first turn you play it.
Yeah.
And then your Crispin Sparkling Crystal It's all
Okay.
your glaze is right there.
Okay. But you have to take damage in order for it to activate, which kind of sucks because most Pokemon one-hit knockout.
Yeah.
So you have to take damage.
You do have to take damage. I'm tempted to like use Frostlass, but I don't think that's the call.
I don't think so either.
And for like a draw engine, what you can also use is a Revavroom.
Okay.
You can put Revavroom on the bench, you discard an energy, you draw until you have 6 cards in hand, and discarding an energy is actually kind of good because you can use cards like Glass Trumpet. Since you have the Terra in play of Glaceon, and your normal type can be either another Eevee or the Chanseys to attack, and it all kind of works. It works really, really well. And like, yet you have to take damage, and it's not the tankiest, but if you can get like a really good gust, and they don't want to put damage counters on it, your Frost Bullet is still a good enough attack to apply pressure.
Yeah.
And it can also set up the 60 damage counters on its own if you get 2 Frost Bullets off, because it does 30 damage, so you do 2 of those, 60 damage, 6 damage counters, Euclase knockout.
I can see it being good now. I can see it now.
I hope it does good. I think it'll be good. It's a crazy card that I don't think has ever seen an archetype like this in the meta, where it's like you have to tank Monkey Dory damage counters, and then you instant knock out anything that on your anything in play too is a thing.
It's not just bench Pokemon or just active. It's anything.
Anything, which is
Even your own Pokemon. No, I'm joking.
Monkey Dory, boo! Just smack a Monkey Dory.
Do you take your own prize cards and knock out one of your own Pokemon? The answer is no, because you knew it Dusknoir, and you don't take your own prize cards.
Truth. But yeah, I want to see it be played. I think it'll be okay. It's definitely a rogue deck for now. Maybe the meta shifts, and who knows, maybe Glaceon gets some crazy card, and it all comes together. But that's my deck that I want to use into Megas. Your turn.
Do I choose a deck to go into Megas, or can I choose a Mega deck? You're muted. Can I choose a Mega deck, or do I have to choose a deck that goes into Megas?
How long have you been muted?
I don't know.
Like 30 seconds.
I was gonna say not that long. I think I went to go try to change the color and I accidentally muted myself. Okay.
Okay.
So,
do against Megas.
that sucks.
Okay, well, what's your Mega idea? You
My
seem pretty
Mega
bummed
idea,
out.
I really want to build Latias. Now that I like really see like the energy acceleration and boomerang energy, all of this stuff, I really see the potential in Mega Latias. Just Mega Latias. And then have Dragapult as a backup attacker or a draw engine.
Yeah.
Dragapult's your draw engine. This is... I could see that being a top deck. And I really want to build it. The deck comes out a month before... Or the set comes out a month before my birthday, so I'm just going to ask for it for my birthday or something.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we're going to buy it anyways, because my dad wants the stinking Gardevoir. But...
Smelly.
Yeah, so that's the Mega deck I want to build with the Emboar and the Xatu to attach to Latias and attack for 300.
I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean...
The Emboar is a stage 2 that sets up, and your only usage for it is 1 fire energy accelerating.
Yeah, but that accelerates to Latias.
I feel like it's a lot. That's a lot of setup for getting 1 fire energy.
I don't know. I think it's...
Oh, and your Xatu, too. You can't really use Xatu.
Why not?
Xatu attaches to psychic types.
I thought Xatu attached to any Pokemon.
No, I think it's just psychic types, but I might be wrong.
I'm looking it up. Hold up.
Dude, Joltik respect button. I have a Joltik with me. You guys we can talk about Joltik all for a while.
No, it's one of your it's one of your benched Pokemon.
What if you like run multiple?
Latias.
I don't know.
Well, you could run Big Balloon and then retreat, because Big
Yeah.
Balloon's a card that's being released. Reduces retreat cost by 2 on any Pokemon.
Yippee. Yeah.
So for a deck that doesn't run a tool, that's pretty good. I will say though, I guess I don't know. I just think it'll be a fun deck to play.
Okay.
Xatu's good draw support.
Don't run into Gardevoir.
No, don't run into Gardevoir. I don't want to build Gardevoir, but it's like if I want to be good at the game, I might have to actually build Gardevoir.
Yay.
Fortunately, really fortunately, the set comes out after Worlds.
Think.
1 month after Worlds. Thank goodness.
I don't want to see Megas yet.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Megas, just not yet.
Yeah, right at Worlds.
Throw me one of those.
What?
Throw me an ability. I need to use my ability.
We're
Okay.
going to see Black Bull White Flare at Worlds.
We are going to see Black Bull White Flare at Worlds. I think that'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, so you asked for a deck that doesn't go into Megas. Or that does go into Megas.
Yeah, a counter meta.
A counter. Well, honestly, we got the new Mega Fighting type and the Mega Dragon type. But that's going to be a Mega deck, so I can't say that. I was just going to say Gardevoir. But that's going to be a Mega deck.
And maybe Gardevoir is just the answer, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe Gardevoir is just the answer to life in the
Everything-
living universe.
Hey, you want to live life? Have Gardevoir. Pay your insurance. Pay the bills.
Get the life-size Gardevoir
Get the
plushie.
life-size Gardevoir plush. Trust me, you'll be a freak to everyone that knows you.
Yeah.
People give you weird looks, and you don't
I was
actually
going to say
buy
so. I'm
that.
not going to say that. Never mind.
Do not actually buy that Gardevoir. I did see though. There's life-size Evolution plushies.
Yeah, there is.
Speaking of Glaceon, they have
Stay safe, Vaporeon.
They introduced Sylveon, Leafeon, and Glaceon.
They're going to introduce the others, though. They did say that they were going to announce the
Vaporeon's
others.
already sold out.
Go freaking figure.
Wow.
Did you know that in terms of... But anyways,
Who's Mike?
what other questions do we have for this new set before I get into something that I really want to get into?
I guess another question that I have is, what do you think are some decks that are in meta right now that are just going to fall off?
I can see Dragapult falling off because of that Gardevoir.
Yes.
Dragapult's already kind of falling off.
It's still the
It's
most...
seeing less and less play. Like, at least at the 3 locals I go to, Dragapult, there's like 1 Dragapult in all 3 of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I think Dragapult's going to heavily fall off.
I think Joltik Box is going to fall off.
I think Joltik Box is going
It's
to fall off too.
already falling off, and we're going to go into a meta where you can't really one-hit KO anything, so Pikachu EX doesn't really do that, and you are
Like-
not going to get Iron Hands hitting anything in
Because,
the
like,
Megas.
Pikachu did 300 damage, which pretty much knocked out any Pokemon except for a few couple.
Yeah, like, with Pikachu in play in Gravity Mountain, the only thing that survives it is, like...
Metagross and Garchomp.
Metagross...
Or not Garchomp. Metagross.
Mamoswine, Slacking.
Yes, those were the 3 that could survive it with 10 HP. But with the new meta, we're getting 360, 380, 340 HP.
You can hit Latias,
Yeah, you do hit Latias,
but
and it's
not with a
knockout.
Bravery Charm.
Yeah, Latias with Bravery Charm doesn't knock out. But I could see that falling off too. Heavily falling off. I could see Terapagos falling off too.
There's also nothing new for Electrics that are really making Joltik Box good.
I mean, but not in the Megas, but in Black but White Flare there is. There's Zekrom.
Yeah, there's Zekrom.
But Zekrom does 30 damage to itself, which kind of sucks.
I don't know if the Zekrom and the Reshiram are going to be that good. I think they'll see play. I don't see them being in like a standalone deck.
I don't see them being in a standalone deck.
I feel like they're just like a one of that'll exist. And in Joltik Box, maybe you can definitely accelerate a Zekrom, but it's like I don't think the Zekrom's that good. And if you're using Joltik to accelerate a Zekrom, that's early in the game.
Yeah.
Which is the weakest for Zekrom.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Joltik Box is going to fall off. Terapagos is going to fall off. Terrabox is going to fall off.
Oh, Terrabox already got replaced by EV Box.
Yeah, I know. EV Box is going to fall off, in my opinion.
I
Maybe not Glaceon, but I think EV Box is going to fall off.
the thing I think EVBox is going for is the typings.
Yeah, having all the typings and being able to hit anything.
All the typings is really good. Some of them are worse. Umbreon.
Hi, Umbreon.
Umbreon is terrible.
Not in a Gardevoir.
Okay, in a Gardevoir, it is just enough to knock it out with one hit KO. But Mega Gardevoir isn't going to get one hit KO'd.
Yeah.
And then, it's not going to get one hit KO. Wally. Dang it. That really sucks.
Wally is going to break the game. Like, Megas would be somewhat tolerable if they were easy to knock out.
Yeah.
Wally just makes it impossible.
If Wally wasn't in format, I think Megas would be, like, okay.
But because of Wally and Palpad and abilities like Quick Search on Pidgeot, because in some decks like Gardevoir, you're already going to be running Rare Candy.
Yeah.
Because you're running that. Venusaur, you're going to be running Rare Candy in that. So you could have Pidgeot set up and Quick Search for your Wallies or your Palpads.
Yep.
Or Pokegear. Or anything to find Wally. Or anything to get Wally out of discard. It's going to be busted.
Yeah.
But we've talked enough about Megas, I think.
Yeah.
So, are we ready for the secret topic of today's podcast?
You can take the secret out of the box.
Yeah. And you can mimic the secret. Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic released recently. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the gameplay first.
I watched the gameplay from your.
The
game
gameplay
share.
is insane. I played it on PlayStation, and I've got to say, it is the most amazing experience playing a game I've ever had. So, like, to do certain stuff in the game, like unlock doors, like there's a door where it's one of those locks that goes like this and then over.
Yeah.
In the game, you literally take your C stick on the controller and you flick it up and to the left to open it.
Yeah.
And then there's stuff like the generators, which you literally take your C stick and you go like this, and it revs it up. Or like opening like a crank, you literally spin the C stick.
Yeah.
It is, and it's like actually somewhat scary too. I'd say it's decently scary. Five Nights at Freddy's games haven't really been scary in a while, I'll be honest. But this one like actually added some scare factor to it.
That Music Man fight that I seen.
Dude, that was, because I played through all the way till the pirate minigame, and then now I'm stuck on the pirate minigame, but I've been stuck on that for a
scared by the little puppets.
Yes, I hate that. It's not scary at all. It's just stupid. But yeah, so like the Big Top is his name. His name is Big Top.
Yeah, Big Top.
He genuinely scared me. Like he slowly walks towards you after you get through his little like hide and seek mini game,
and you have to my water mini game.
Yeah, you have to do
walking towards you.
Yeah, and he's just slowly walking towards you, and if you don't complete it in time, he just jump scares you.
There was literally one time where he was like right next to you, and it just kicked in right before,
and then he just turned back on and went back, and it was like, oh my god, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, this game was absolutely insane. Major lore drops. It only had 3 endings, but all 3 endings revealed so much about security breach ruin, the timeline. It was insane. So, let's start with the first ending. The first ending, where he escapes. He gives the data diver to the what's the dispatch. He gives the data diver to dispatch. What are you doing? It's Jackie. My name is Mimic. Oh yeah.
And he's freaking backy.
Yeah. Okay, so the first ending that happens, our guy Arnold, the main character, gives our data diver with all of the information and the schematics to the Mimic. He gives it to Dispatch, or so we think. It's not really Dispatch, it's the Mimic. We learn that while we're inside, it's not Dispatch talking to us. The Mimic is talking to us. So we give it to Dispatch, air quotes, and we go out to the van and we start driving away. Then we talk to actual Dispatch, and they're like, we've been trying to contact you all night. We can't. So they fire him. And he's like, what? I did everything you asked, blah, blah, blah. He adjusts his rearview mirror, and the Mimic is in the back of his van and kills him. So that's the first ending. Not really a ton of lore drops there, but a decent amount, because we learn, like, the Mimic was talking to us the entire game. The Mimic is literally able to mimic anything.
Mimic? Oh, wow.
Like a dragon?
No.
Okay. Second ending. This is our canon ending. Or not our canon ending, but it's believed to be the canon ending. Arnold decides not to give the data diver to dispatch. And instead, he activates a program called Parachute EXE. We saw it at the beginning of the game on the first computer, and we couldn't activate it because we didn't have security protocols. So later in the game, we finally unlock security protocols to it. We go back to the main office. He's like, give me the data diver. We can't leave the room. If we try to, then he says we can't. He locks the door. We turn it on the computer. The data diver now gives us access to Parachute.exe. We use Parachute.exe instead of giving him the data diver, and he says, you've made your choice. The couch in that first office, because the first office is like our main room, the couch in that room lifts up, and there's a vent underneath, and that vent opens. We go into the vent, we start walking, and then we go underneath of MCM, Murray's Costume Manor. And then we find out that the FNaF 1 location is underneath Murray's Costume Manor. We see the FNaF 1 prototype animatronics, which look exactly like the FNaF 1 animatronics. What?
I'm making sure I wasn't muted.
Okay. Am I muted?
You're not muted. I can see the green light.
Okay. We go down there, and we see all the animatronics kind of spread out, but they're there. And they look pretty much exactly, well, they have a couple design differences, but they're marked to be prototypes made by Murray's Costume Manor for the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location. Now, before I get into the rest of this, there is something in the game called mail. Obviously, there's mail. You can turn it, and then you get mail on the computer. If you open this, there are some interesting mail threads between William Afton and Henry Emily, or W.A., which is believed to be William Afton. And William Afton basically says, screw you, I'm taking all your stuff. You're going bankrupt, I'm taking all your stuff. So, this kind of leads into what happened and why Murray's Costume Manor has the FNaF 1 animatronics. So, Afton kind of... What? What? I thought you said something.
No.
I'm schizophrenic.
Oops.
Oops. Yeah, my bad. Didn't take my meds. Anyways, so we learned that William Afton commissioned Murray to build the FNaF 1 animatronics for him. He builds them, and then he makes them not spring-lock suits, but William decides that he doesn't want them to be spring-lock suits, and he doesn't like the designs. So Murray just basically built robots for nothing because William completely scrapped the designs. So they're in the bottom of Murray's Costume Manor, and we find 4 spring-lock suits. We find, of course, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, which those are common to find because they're the originals. They're William Afton's creations. Or Henry Emily's. We don't exactly know yet, but we know that they're Henry Emily or William Afton's. So a lot of people just conceive them to be both of their designs. William Afton's electronics and Henry Emily's designs. So we find a prototype of Spring Bonnie and Fredbear in the bottom of Murray's Costume Manor. And we also find 2 other animatronics. Now, these animatronics add a lot to the lore. One of them is named Bub, and he's a dog. He has kind of a similar design to a hoax that was in FNaF 1 when FNaF 1 first came out, where a dog animatronic was seen entering the backstage. So, and a lot of people called it Sparky. Sparky the dog, I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people called it Sparky, and this dog Bub vaguely resembles Sparky. So a lot of people are believing that Sparky may become canon, and that he is a FNaF 1 animatronic that was like hidden somewhere, and he just like maybe Scott just made it not a hoax anymore. We don't know yet. The second one that was added, this is an interesting one because this adds a decent amount of question. It's a crocodile, an alligator, if you would, a Montgomery gator, springlock suit, wearing overalls, and it's green. So the only picture I got of it, it didn't really look like an alligator, but if you look at it from the side view or you go inside of it, it looks like an alligator. You can see that it's an alligator. So Montgomery Gator just kind of existed before Security Breach, and a lot of people are questioning why there was an alligator. But basically, we continue on in this ending. We go into the bathroom, and we go around, and we find our way, or actually, yeah, we go and find our way into the FNaF 1 office, where we find Fiona, or F10N4 is what it's called, but it's Fiona. Murray, we learned this in a little bit, but Murray basically made mimics of his son and his wife, or his son and his wife. So we have those animatronics, and one of them is now F10N4, Fiona. This F10N4 is talking to us about how we need to retrieve M2 and build M2, or convince Edwin to make M2.
My name is Edwin.
My name is Edwin. I built the mimic.
It's difficult to put the pieces together.
Yeah. So we go to the main house. We ride like a little roller coaster. And we go to the main house. And the mimic is there. But I don't know if it was the same mimic. I think it was a different one. It had a little bit of a different design. But we go there. Mimic's there, chasing us around the house. We find Edwin's main office, where we retrieve M2. And we upload it to a computer. And it kind of creates M2's security protocols. We then leave. The whole place is on fire. The mimic's chasing us. We get back. We get in our van. There are these little robots chasing us, like these little robots that the mimic created. They're chasing us. They're all over the van. We're driving away. The mimic punches a hole through the front glass of the van, grabs our face, and then we crash. And then the mimic appears overhead of us, and he goes to what looks like kill us, but he doesn't kill us. We're presumed dead at this point, but we don't know if Arnold died. He grabs the data diver, which has all the data to the mimic, so he can create more of himself or upgrade himself. And he takes it, and he walks away. This ending is also presumed to not be canon, because the mimic escaped. And in Security Breach Ruin, the mimic is said to have been trapped. So this is where the third ending comes in. This is a very weird ending. Basically, we follow all the same ways as the second ending, but we go into the basement of Murray's Costume Manor before all of this, with all of the collectibles in the game, and you can access a mini game. It's called Moon.exe. It was like on the computer in the first room.
Okay.
You basically went through like a haunted forest and everything, and you put animatronic masks back together, and you brought back the sun, which the sun is Fiona. So when we see F10N4, there is a screen above F10N4 with a kind of face with spiked hair, and we see that exact same image in Moon.exe. And it's used as the caregiver of the character. The caregiver gives us an upgrade to our data diver. The data diver is now glitched. So we can go back and go through the second ending again, except in Edwin's house.
Lots of mimicry happening.
Yeah. In Edwin's house, we go to a little boy's room, where we find a little stand. And if we take the Tiger Rock plushie out of the thing and put it onto the stand, kind of cutscene, but also gameplay starts, where the Mimic comes out of a closet, and there are two voices, Edwin's and Fiona's. They start talking to the Mimic as if it was their child, David. They're talking to David, reading him a bedtime story, and we have to click buttons, and it continues the story so the Mimic doesn't go crazy. The Mimic bugs out. We use the data diver to plug it into the Mimic and twist it, and we fix the Mimic. The Mimic shrinks down because the Mimic has shrinkage arms and legs and back. It's really cool, actually. The design is really cool. But he shrinks down into a little kid with blue eyes instead of orange eyes like the Mimic has during the game. And the Mimic goes to bed and goes to sleep. And that's the ending. We presumably escape, but we don't know what Arnold did yet.
So, is the Mimic David?
Well, there are two Mimics. There's M1 and then there's M2. So, a lot of people are thinking that M1 is Fiona and M2 is David. And what happened are there are some audio logs that mark Edwin beating the Mimic. M2, because it's not David, and he's upset that David and Fiona died, so he starts beating M2. M2 is the Mimic, so it mimics his behavior and beats Edwin to death.
Oh.
Edwin is dead. So the Mimic is now learning from violent behaviors and attacking us, but we were able to revert it to when it was David.
Okay. That's a lot of lore Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot more lore too, but I didn't go into the little details. I just went into the endings because it's going to take way too long to talk about every little bit of lore.
Yeah. Huh.
So the lore is definitely shifting.
Why is that upside down? Okay.
But I do believe that FNaF is starting to hit a point where the lore is becoming a little too complex, and we need some endings to certain characters and how they're doing. Because, we saw the end of William Afton, or presumably we did, but in Security Breach, the ending, it was weird. Stupid.
He always comes back.
He always comes back, but he needs to die, because he should have died in FNaF 6. But who am I to say the lore? So, yeah, that's pretty much the major lore points of FNaF Secret of the Mimic. And I think the canon ending is the one where the Mimic turns back into David and gets trapped in the house. Because that would make the most sense logically. And Arnold also lives in that ending. Guaranteed he lives in that ending. Well, not guaranteed, but he's presumed to be alive. So, I like that. So that's my thoughts.
Huh. Yeah. I don't really know that much about FNaF, but that seemed pretty interesting, yeah.
It changes a lot.
The only thing I know about the Mimic was that stupid song.
Yeah, stupid song.
So, is it canon that David got hit by a car?
We don't know, because in one of the audio logs, where they're talking about how David has a playground that he can play on. And he has his favorite ball out there and stuff, the ball that went into the road and he got hit by a car. But the books are different than the game. In the books, he did get hit by a car, and that's how he died. That's why the song is all about David getting hit by a car.
There is my ball.
So, in the game, there's a playground beside the work site, some very dangerous work equipment. And Edwin's lawyer is telling him that he needs to stop letting Edwin play in that playground because it's too close to the dangerous equipment, and he could get killed. We don't know how David dies yet, but it's assumed that he gets killed by the dangerous equipment. And it's someone operating it and he gets killed by it. Or he did get hit by a car, which would be really funny. But, yeah. So, that's where we're currently standing with the lore. And some tiny lore bits that are just easy to go over. Chica and Foxy were not William Afton's designs. They were Edwin's wife's designs.
Oh.
Chica, especially, because Chica was was a rentable animatronic that was used in Chica's Party World. So, yeah, that's most of the lore bits. Any questions? I feel like that can be a whole separate episode on its own, by the way. Me just talking about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Just that segment
Do
could
we know
be...
anybody else in the friend group that's into FNaF?
No. I mean, Patrick, talked about it with me, but he didn't really know a ton. No, I'm, the only one that really gets into Five Nights at Freddy's.
We need someone that speaks your language, and you can both talk. That'd be good. Yeah. Maybe
We'll find
future
someone.
Episode.
We'll get Matt Pat on the podcast.
We will rent a FNaF fan.
We'll rent Dako or Corey X Kenshin or Matt
I'd love
Pat.
to have Corey X Kenshin.
Yeah, I would love to have
Dude,
Corey X
give me my
Kenshin.
man.
Sitting on this couch right here.
Sitting on this couch right here.
But is there anything else that you want to talk about on this podcast? Anything quick or easy you want to talk about?
Brothers.
I wish I knew how long we'd been recording for.
We have been going on for about a minute 30.
A minute 30.
An hour 30.
Yeah, we've been going for a minute and 30 seconds.
1 minute 30 seconds, guys.
Okay, we can talk about Smash 6 then.
Alright.
Because we assumed it was going to be a 2-hour episode, so.
Well, first off, Smash tournaments happened. Who would have thought? Smash tournaments happened. Guys, that's crazy.
I don't know anything about Smash, so.
Donkey Kong is winning majors.
Oh, cool. Good.
For, why Donkey Kong is winning majors? Hurt's back after his ban.
Hurt?
Yeah, Hurt is a Japanese snake main. He won Genesis, and for a good while was, probably top 1 in the world.
Okay.
But in Japan, they have very, very different rules here in the States, and it is a bannable offense to having a modded Switch. And Hurt happened to have a modded Switch with the online input delay that you're probably familiar with, where on Elite Smash, your input delay is more than usual. And there's an online mod that helps you lower that. And Hurt had it. They caught him with it, I guess, and then they decided to ban him until July. Or I think late, I don't know. But for now, he's here, he's back, and he's winning tournaments. Actually, he won his first tournament back, but the second tournament he went to, his second ever tournament after he's been gone, he actually lost in second place to Dormigi, the 15-year-old Min player, winning majors.
Isn't he actually fun to watch though?
Oh,
as
okay.
Min?
Yeah, he is an entirely different play style from Min.
Okay.
He plays Min like a 0 to death character, with edge guarding, ledge trapping, and just really aggressive neutral. And looking at Min frame data, yeah, playing Min aggressive works really freaking well, and it shows because he's winning majors. But, yeah, there's a lot of different Smash players popping off. This Plant has been seeing a couple of major wins because of Spargo's newfound love with the Piranha Plant. We've been seeing a lot less of top tier characters show up, and if we take a look at the entirety of 2025, all the major winners, there's a lot of characters that are just missing. There's no Sonic, there's no Rob. A lot of top tiers just aren't there. The only top tiers that are there are there's Steve, there's Kazuya, there's Game & Watch, there's Min, there's Aegis, there's Snake. There's just a lot of characters that, Sonic especially, we perceive Sonic as, top 2.
Yeah.
Sonic is not getting results.
Okay.
Wrath has been doing okay. He's been doing really good. He made top 8 of Kaguribi. Very good tournament showing. But Sonic isn't winning tournaments. Sonics the player, hasn't been competing. And when he has been competing, he's been underperforming a lot. And I don't know. A lot of meta characters aren't seeing meta.
Like Mewtwo.
Like, well, yeah, Mewtwo's not meta, dude.
Yeah, he is.
No. Mewtwo has, like, no results. If you look on a tier list of, like, results, literally Ganondorf has better results than Mewtwo. Like, it's just stupid. And, question just, like, how, like, Donkey Kong and Plan are winning stuff, maybe Mewtwo can? No, I don't know. Whatever. But I think we're getting a little close to ending. But for a final little question, we got, let's say Smash 6 is here. With the roster that Ultimate has, I want you to name 3 characters that you want in Smash. It could be characters, like random characters, like Freddy Fazbear, woo, the Mimic, and David, if you really wanted it to. And one character you don't want to see in the next Smash game. It can either be a character that isn't in Smash yet, or you could just get rid of a character from the game.
Okay. I think the one character I don't want to see in the next Smash game.
Rossetti.
Who?
Mr. Rossetti.
Who's Mr. Rossetti?
Yeah, have you not heard Trayvon?
Oh, wait.
He's like, oh, Mr. Rossetti, we gotta get him in Smash 6. He's gonna be a great character and a legendary moveset. And then you ask him what he's using, and he's like, dude, it's Rossetti. It explains itself. It's like, it doesn't. But, okay, continue, Sai.
I think the one character I don't want to see in Smash, honestly. If you want me to be completely honest, Freddy Fazbear. I do not want to see Freddy Fazbear.
You don't want to see Freddy Fazbear?
I think it needs to... we see a lot of indie game reps in Smash. I could see him being a costume for me.
Yeah.
Not as a playable character.
Okay.
I don't know how his moveset would work.
Listen, they made Piranha Plant work.
I know, but it's like... Freddy Fazbear's a fat robot.
Yeah?
That's slow.
Yeah.
Now, if they added Foxy, that's a different story, because Foxy moves fast. He's faster than Sonic. I don't know if you knew this or not.
No.
He is.
Yeah, I didn't know this because it's not true.
It is. Stop. Hold on.
Okay. What are 3 characters you would like to see?
3 characters I would like to see. I want to see... I know this isn't really a new character, but I want to see DK's redesign with a completely new moveset.
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely.
Make him a better character.
Make him not an angry gorilla that just beats people up. Make it like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
The character, not gorilla.
You could even be like... I could see this being a possibility because of Donkey Kong Bonanza. Have it be a tag character, like DK and Pauline gives them, like, boost if you use Pauline. Like, if you're off stage and you up B, you turn into the stupid eagle thing, or the bird thing, the ostrich that allows them to fly. You turn into the ostrich, and you ostrich up B. Or it's like, if you side B, you turn into the zebra and run across the stage.
Yeah.
And when you hit someone, you stop, or something. I could see that being a possibility. I'd like to see... We have Rosalina and Luma. We have Peach. We have Daisy. Give me Pauline. Not the baby Pauline. The big Pauline. Pauline. Give me Pauline.
What's her moveset?
I don't know what her moveset is. I want Pauline.
Okay.
Make her float with her dress. I don't know. Make her just make her Peach and Daisy, but Echo Fighter 2.
Please no.
Or make her costume. Make all the Echo Fighters costumes of their respective Echo character.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a Fire Emblem character, because they're not really Echo Fighters. Also, I think I want to see a Pokemon. I just don't know what Pokemon. I know we have a lot of Pokemon rep, but I want to see a new gen Pokemon.
Which Pokemon would you think it'd be?
Xurkitree. No.
What? No. Is that the freaking electric Ultra Beast?
Yeah. But I can see Buzzwole.
That'd be funny. I love Buzzwole. Let's do Buzzwole.
Buzzwole, I could actually see Buzzwole being a character.
He's just a big bug that hits you with big muscles.
He's just Donkey Kong, really. I mean,
No.
no, but those are the 3 characters I want to see.
Okay. I don't. For my character that I don't want to see in Smash, I don't want to see Yoshi anymore. Get him out of here.
Get Yoshi out of here.
I'm tired. I'm tired of going to the local, and I get double E limit by Green Dinosaur. I don't like playing against Yoshi. I can subtly watch Yoshi be okay with it, but playing against Yoshi is a nightmare.
Yoshi, Ditto.
I tried that.
Did it work?
It's honestly better than playing Yoshi Mewtwo.
Okay.
And my Yoshi sucks, so that says a lot. But yeah, I don't want to see Yoshi, but for like a legitimate like answer, I don't want to see Waluigi.
Okay.
I really do not. It'd be really funny. It'd be really funny and stupid and hilarious, but like we see Waluigi, I would just be mad. Because it's like, this is a character that everyone's been joking about that they want in Smash for so long. And yeah, joke characters get in, but it's like legitimate reasons, like Banjo and Sora. They're both... Banjo wasn't really a joke. Sora was like, not really a joke, but just like an unrealistic hope that ended up just being a joke. But then happened actually, which is crazy. But Waluigi is just like, okay, he gets in Smash... What's his moveset? I don't know. He mini games, attacks. It's like there's nothing you can base a moveset off of. And to be fair, they've made movesets for like a lot of other characters that have no resources. But it's like this is a stretch for a joke. We already have Plant, so we're good with jokes. But for the 3 that I want to see Dante and Virgil 100%. Either or both.
That's 2 answers.
No, I think it's either or. Maybe like Echo Fighters.
Okay.
Like Echo Fighters or Pyro and Mithra stylized.
Okay.
You could swap. That'd be really cool. I want to see that. I want to see I from Monkey Ball. I talked about it on the original episode 5. His moveset would be really cool because his hitbox is the ball. But the ball, I think, would have an active hitbox around it. It doesn't flinch. It just inflicts like subtle damage, but you could charge it up to make it start like flinching, and it's like a combo starter for like low charges and then a kill move at higher charges.
Okay.
And he could be a super mobile little character. I think it'd be really funny, and I think you could get it to work. And I love Monkey Ball, so let's see it. Please, let's do it. Let's add Monkey Ball. My 3rd answer. There's a lot on the table. Raiden from Metal Gear. Team Fortress 2 rep.
You're not getting a TF2 rep.
Pepino Pizza Tower. Badoo.
I'm gonna itchy pollen so I can't use any items.
Let's add Badoo. Oh, wait, hold on. The character I don't want to see in Smash, no Tetramino. No Tetramino. Do you know what it is?
No.
It's the Tetris block. A lot of people want just the Tetris block. And I'm like, you guys are crazy. No, you want the Tetris block? Let's just, we're going to add the Tetris block. Let's add the question mark block from Mario. That's the character I want to see. That's my 3rd answer. No, I'm joking. I want to see... something from Undertale Deltarune.
Okay.
Because we don't have, like... For indie reps, it's...
We just have costume fighters.
We have costume fighters. I want to see one indie rep. And I think the best choice for an indie rep to be in is, like... You could go Undertale or Deltarune. There is Shovel Knight. There is One Shot.
There's Five Nights at Freddy's.
There's Five Nights at Freddy's. But
Foxy
I think the
Fox.
realistic way you go about it is, like, we already have a Sans costume. And Toby Fox has worked with Nintendo for other stuff like Pokemon Sword and Shield. Let's just put in
Sans.
maybe Chris from Deltarune as a playable character.
What's Sans?
Sans would be funny. But making a moveset for Sans is a nightmare.
There is a modded moveset for Sans that is really good.
I don't like it.
I love it. It looks so
seems
fun.
really botched and chopped up, random animations. Like, my attack is I just put a little bone forward. I'm just like, okay, what is that gonna do? When I'm playing this character, what is that gonna do against my opponent? Oh, it hits them. Oh, I think you could get a lot with like Chris from Deltarune, especially with like how big Deltarune's getting, and you know you could have like maybe like certain attacks that like utilize stuff from like Suzy and Rouse to make it more like Byleth with the different weapons. And I think that's the more legitimate answer would be Chris for an indie rep, especially now with Deltarune being as popular as it is. And that's my picks.
Well, I think that's it for today's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank you all for listening this far into the podcast.
It is very long, and you stuck through the FNaF ramble, so you get a gold star from the Milk Fridge. You get a Milk Fridge gold star.